In this overview of K-Select, we're going to highlight some of its time-saving features and handy tips and tricks. K-Select can be found on our website. Go to Krueger-HVAC.com, click on Software, K-Select, and then Download. And if you have an earlier version than this, please update. When you first open K-Select, this is what you'll see. You'll have the option to start a new project, open project, do a quick selection, or go to our website. We're going to start a new project. Let's enter a name. The first screen you see is where you can enter your project name, the location of your project, and other general notes. And then you also have your project defaults. Project defaults are a good way to set the schedule without having to always have to make these selections. So for instance, if your schedule is always calling for 160 degrees entering water temperature, it always wants to match the MBH, or if your fan coils are always going to be using 1-inch pleated MERV 8 filters and the motor is always going to be 277, then you can go ahead and select them here and save time that way. Now, if you've already entered this in and you want to update your master defaults, because this is what you encounter a lot of the times, you do it this way, and it'll prompt you. Notice the absence of a save button. K-Select saves on its own without having to require you to save. The only time that you actually have to save is if you are working under the quick select option that we talked about earlier. So let's go to our schedule and add a terminal unit. To add a single duct cooling only, and we're going to let the size be chosen by the software. So we're going to leave it as automatic. And then if I hit tab, you'll notice that the minimum primary airflow is automatically populated. And when I hover over that, it'll give me a small description. So after I've entered everything in, I'll hit calculate. And here at the bottom, you'll see the selections. You have a general tab, and then you also have an extended sound data tab. Now, if you don't get the selections you expected or get any selections at all, click on the selection info button down here, and you can see the software where it went through the different sizes and where it found that size would not be available. It's a good troubleshooting tool. All right, so let's do save and new. That way we can stay on this screen and just continue selecting. So this time we're going to add a hot water coil, and we're going to enter our airflow tab, and once again the heating primary airflow is automatically populated. If we want to do analysis method of leaving air temperature, it's a good idea to keep these at default. That way you don't over specify and limit yourself to what the options may be. So you might put 5 GPM, but the ideal box runs at 6 GPM, and you wouldn't want to miss that. So let's click calculate, and once again you'll have the selections down here, but this time you also have a performance data tab. And let's choose this one. Save and close will take us back to the schedule. Cancel will bring us back to the schedule as well without having made a selection. So let's go ahead and copy this line item. And you'll notice that if I want 5 of them, the tags automatically adjust accordingly. Say I want to delete. And if I want to make a global change on several lines, highlight these and hit global change, and this window will pop up. I would like to make a change on the liner type from 1/2 dual density to 1-inch cellular. Four items have been validated. And once again, you have the selection info button so that you can go through and troubleshoot if you need to. So let's go into one of these selections. And if I wanted to stay on this screen and move between between line, I can just use these line navigation buttons. And you'll notice that the tag will change automatically. So if I want to go to the first line, tag changes to VAV-01, the next line, and the last line. And since I've already made selection, I can just click cancel without having to worry about making any changes. Let's go back to product selection and fan coils. And let's add a fan coil. And if we want a couple coils on this, and one thing I'd like to point out is that the selection method is available to choose now, unlike terminal units. So the quick select will allow you to choose your coils based on the minimum options. But if you need something more, you can always click standard, and there you see a lot more options. So for instance, if you need to specify the amount of propylene glycol that's in there, certainly do that way. And I don't need to select this, so I'll hit click cancel. And now we're back on the schedule, and you'll see that this is pink. Pink means that the line has not been validated. So you either have to go back in and make a selection, or you can delete the line. Go back to terminal units. If I want to print just this unit, I'll go into print summary, and there I have the details of this unit alone. If I need more information on all of the units, I can go to Launch Reports, and for the units, click on Project Schedule, Performance Reports, and Acoustic Schedule. And if they don't have any electric heat, I'm going to put it as hot water in Launch Report. And the first one you'll see is the acoustic data for all of your units, and you'll have the tags on the left and the NC values on the right. You'll also see the performance data for each of your units. And notice that when I scroll down, it'll automatically go to the next one. And this can also be exported to Excel if you need to. And this is what it looks like, and you can see that each unit has its own tab. And the last report that you'll be able to get is your schedule, and this can also be exported to Excel. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to check out the other videos in this series. And if you have any questions, reach out to your Krueger representative.